no homo. I'm gonna get ahead go ahead and get started on this video. So you sent me a boxing video. Uh, Thank you for sending it along. Few tips and pointers, few things you were doing well. First of all, most of the things I felt you were doing well are sort of your natural abilities. You got good hand speed. I can just tell by the pattern at which you're hitting the heavy bag. That's a beautiful thing. Um, yeah. But like technically and structurally, obviously there are a few things that you could just be doing better or just be thinking about. So we're just gonna go over some basics. I could I could be talking for hours about boxing things and things, positioning and things and angles that you could be working on. But let's start with just like very basic things. So let's just start with the stance. Um, I noticed you were switching stances often from sort of orthodox to southpaw. So we'll just go over some stance basics. Where you as like a 6'2.5", 6'3", like lanky, strong, fast-handed cat. What you should be doing given your dimensions. We'll talk about that. So yeah, let's. This is my vision for you as a boxer, sort of. So here's how. First of all, how you need to be standing. So you are right-handed. So that means your left side is always going to sort of be facing the heavy bag at all times. So you never want to have your right side closer than your left side. First of all, you want both your legs to be about shoulder length, maybe a little bit more apart. So you want to be right there. This is going to be your traditional guard for your face. You want to have your elbows in. So most of any fight, you want to be in this position because you got to have your hands up at all times, pretty much. So you want to be either here or just blocking your body a little lower. But you always want to have your elbows in. If ever you're caught with your elbows out, you're either exhausted as hell or you're showboating. You know what I'm saying? But always have your elbows in, because a body punch can come at any time. So you just got to be able to hit that down. It'll also help with punch fluency, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So first of all, like I was saying, you got to be facing the camera, sort of facing the heavy bag or facing your opponent, sort of with your left shoulder leading. So from this stance, to throw a jab, for example, I'm going to step back so you can see my whole body. Throw a jab, all I want to do, first of all, a jab you throw with your whole body. A lot of boxers will make the mistake of throwing a jab with just their arm. That's a mistake. That's like a jab you throw with your whole body. So what that means, I'll throw a jab with my whole body, show you. You see how I just slid forward a little bit there? The whole weight of the body has to be into the jab. Your jab is your most formative punch, is what you're going to throw your most frequently, basically. So your elbows are in. You throw a jab, you just want to coast right along with your body. Just get your whole body's momentum. Basically, your right leg, your back leg should just sort of slide along with you as you throw your jab. Right there. And as soon as you throw it, get that left hand right back to your face. So a lot of boxers right after they throw the jab, again, let me pause. The beautiful thing about boxing is the transition from offense to defense at all times. It's no like with basketball, you hooping, you're on offense, and then you're in defense. So boxing, offense, defense, all the time. So as I'm throwing the jab, maybe I just want to duck. Because shit could be coming back at any point. So maybe after, some boxers will build the duck into their jab. The beautiful thing is to always be thinking about defense at all times. There should not be a moment where you're just thinking about firing. You should always be thinking about what kind of position am I going to be in after I throw a punch at all times. But that is a later thing. But anyway, so that's a standard jab. Just right back to my face. Standard right hand. One thing I noticed in your video that you did very well when you threw the right hand was you twisted your back and right foot. So if I'm going to throw a right hand and it's going to be effective, I should just sort of twist off my right foot. Let the camera note my feet as I throw this shit. Just want to twist, especially early on. When you're a pro, you may not twist so much off your back foot. It may just Be sort of subtle. But you always want to know that your body is behind the punches. Otherwise, you're punching for no reason. So that is sort of a typical right hand right there. So let's do a jab right hand. You know, just real quick. The jab, as I mentioned, I should step forward every time I throw a jab. I don't just want to throw a hand jab unless it's like a testing jab. See where somebody is. I always want to, again, step forward, get that right back to my fist. That's what, more than anything, you should be practicing right now. Jab. We'll talk about the hook and shit later. But like jab and right hand. And again, even now, just thinking about defense, like what are you going to do? Also, you're kind of standing straight up as you're boxing. Like if you just think about bending your knees a little bit, because you're tall. You don't want to give away your height and bend down too much. But you always want to have your center of gravity a little bit lower. Because if you're standing straight up, you get hit by a good punch, you're going to fall. So it's really important to have your center of gravity sort of level in that way as well. But again, multiple part video because boxing's long and complicated as hell. Very good other stuff. And I'll record a part 2 real soon.